The story so far. Loathsome Gerald has been caught observing the sun through a telescope, and his squint is now permanent. Great Aunt Florrie has gone shopping in Concreton and will be away several hours, as she must stop at the laundrette to thaw out some chickens in the spin dryers. At the same time, Hubert Maynard, in his mid-40s and still unusual, and his brother-in-law, adventurous young Rafe Rawlinson, are playing cricket on Sensible Common. But Rafe has disgraced himself at the crease and stopped the game, and is now alone on the pitch, determined that in atonement he will rid the club of moles. Meanwhile, Hubert and the rest of the team enjoy the break and a chill glass of Parafino in the shade of the pavilion. Now think on't. ... Hubert polished his trident with the sleeve of the white pullover carelessly wrapped about his waist. "You could see everything from the top of that bus," he said. "We were in Regent Street, and I was looking right into Broadcasting House. I could see 'em all running around inside, catching diseases and giggling. My father leant across to me and he said, 'You'll be in there if you don't stop playing with yourself.'" Through the intestinal smoke of Hubert's pipe, the sweat-spangled face of Reg Smeaton, eyes straining with mad intensity behind glasses the shape of Ford Cortinas, shuddered with the ungovernable maelstrom of information, inessential, infantry and endless, that constituted the grotesque furniture of his mind. Filing cabinets unlocked, thesauri fell agape. Data danced in strict formation, quick, 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 quick. Puzzles fitted, it all added up, niggling, self-edited, tumbling with clicking impatience, cross-referenced and erupting, and all gathered berserk fierce, heedless and torrential on his springboard lips. "I find that truly engrossing, Hubert, broadcasting, the business of converting sound into electrical impulses, and at a distance to faithfully translate, correct me if I'm wrong, and amplify for listening pleasure of the untold millions approximate. Information, communication, more information. Gabriel Elmo Marconi, 1874-1937, Italian actor of Bologna, populating 280 from the famous Rolling-Thousand pasta." "He died of chrysanthemum poisoning," said Hubert sadly. "They had to kill all his plants. Did you know he was the real author of A Pictorial History of Gargling? A very great work." Mr. Smeaton, frozen like a red setter, his conversation of the "you speak, I wait, you pause, I pounce" variety, lent exaggerated ear. "They strapped a bloom to his back, and it came up all blotchy. That's why he drank. It was Brasso mainly. He was a very humble man." Raising high his trident, Hubert struck an odd, heroic pose. "Paradoxically speaking, I'm rather proud of my humility, a virtue perhaps best embodied in the person of St. Apollonia, martyred in Alexandria 249 AD. Before this aged Christian lady was consumed by the flames, see combustion, chemical action accompanied by light and heat, her tormentors pulled all her teeth out, her last wishes for a bit of peanut brittle being thus cruelly denied her. This incident is very well tested, and I'm prepared to personally vouch for its veracity. It would take but an instant to hasten back to my shop for a speedy cross-reference from my ever-ready at my fingertips filing system. "Look, there's Rafe," he said with rare insight. With practised effort, Mr. Smeaton behaved outwardly as he knew he must, and screwed his eyes Hong Kong to the distant figure, microscopic and lifelike, shimmering on the pitch. And all this merely token courtesy towards the catatonic Hubert, for in Smeaton's mind the connotations of Rafe, Raffia, Raffle, Sir Stamford, 1781-1826, jostled, assembled, and howled for outlet. "He boiled roly-poly puddings in old socks," said Hubert dreamily, "but it was the chrysanthemums and Brasso that got to him." In his creamy flannels, Rafe lay atop the molehill like a poultice on a pulsing green boil, trembling to the wild scrabblings of the blind beast beneath his damp stomach. "God's teeth," he muttered. "If these things bite, one will be singing soprano." He knew that giant African grasshoppers enjoy eating human hair, that rats can't be sick, and that the elephant shrew is without teeth but can give one a nasty suck. However, of the doings of moles, he knew little, save that they made a muck of a cricket pitch. And this stiffened his resolve. In the pavilion, Uncle Hubert and the chaps were looking on. His knuckles whitened as he gripped firm his bat. For them, he had to do this bloody thing. This bloody, necessary, bloody thing. And I'm not going to eat it or wear it. Brigitte Bardot will hate me. Perhaps I'll just wear it for a bit. The wind in the willows ruffled the gold hair of a long, long slumbering child within. The wind in the willows, the will in the windows, wails of the widows of furry dark soft, overground, underground, dilly-palm, comfy and cosy, tucked in for the night. Mummy! My Teddy's stopped breathing. Click. It's all right, darling. A great heaving halted this train of thought at the level crossing of rude, heart-stopping panic. Violent shakings, horrid snufflings of Poe's worst imaginings, the brute beast surfaced, snout, flailing claws and bristle. Reason fled shrieking from Rafe's thrilling mouth. Aghast, dry-throated, he drank in that which his mind could not comprehend. The thing was grinning with savage glee. Soiled and horrid about its shuddering torso was a capital T-shirt, and in its paw it brandished a microphone. Spasm, abyss, nightmare and swoon, the beckoning void, unsilence and danger. Dan, 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 Dan. Dan, 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 Dan. Dan, 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 Dan. Oh, Dan, Dan, Dan. Dan, 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 oh, dan, 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 dan. Back at the great house, affairs were of a more tranquil stripe. With glass in hand and monocle at ease, Sir Henry Rawlinson, having spent the morning chuckling over the obituaries in the Times, was in expansive mood.
Well, I could play blue football with me back to the table when I was a youngster.
Old Scrotum looked up from the ironing board upon which he was picking the egg and porcupine quills from his master's trousers.
But these folks be musical, sir.
Sir Henry swatted and stamped on a rather beautiful blue butterfly.
Wop festival? A wop festival, you say? Deuced if I know what those blighters have got to be festive about. I tiddly-I-tie island for the weekend, eh? Poof. I can smell those filthy piapsas they eat already.
Scrotum shook 3 cocktail cherries from the turnips. They'm saying a couple of the organisers would be popping over with complimentaries and love. Henry stiffened his drink.
Well, I'll see 'em off the premises personally. The hounds are all fagged out from yesterday's Jehovah's Witnesses, and we don't want blood all over the lawns again.
The room darkened as a hang glider passed across the sun.
Seems a novel enough way to commit suicide,
observed Henry.
Pass me my pistol, I'll see if I can't bring him down into the lake.
With a weapon in his charge, the master of Rawlinson End was apt to be very sporting and unpredictable, and the wrinkled retainer took cover behind a leather armchair, peeping through his fingers and clutching a rosary.
"What are you doing cowering down there?"
roared Henry. Scrotum tugged furiously at a long-vanished forelock.
"It'd be out of respect, sir." "Well, you're supposed to love me, you vile jelly. Take that."
Mercifully, Henry hit him with the soft end of the pistol. Scrotum sprawled on the parquet flooring. Then, with a kindly pat on the head and a paternal grunt, Henry strode back to the window and took aim at the hang glider, now several hundred yards past the lime trees and fast diminishing. In April sunshine, with the air full of wasps and himself full of pink gins and half a bottle of entre-deux legs, it was an impossible shot. And in a fit of blear-eyed pique, Henry emptied the gun into the tyres of a custard-yellow van parked in the drive. Like the shock of fondling a raw sausage blindfold at a gay party, the significance of the van was made clear. In a florid scriptiform on the side was painted the following: "Nice and tidy, and in brackets, both a right couple of pairs. Just relax and let us do it." And in the right-hand corner, a crude drawing of the masks of tragedy and comedy labelled before and after. The gentlemen owners of this vehicle lodged in the village at the Fool and Bladder, and did contract house cleaning, but they purported to be resting theatrical artistes. Both were given to striped blazers, orange pancake, obvious wigs, matching handkerchiefs, shaven legs, and musical comedy, which they visited on the drinking fraternity of the Fool and Bladder with